Hi, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing my October wrap up. So October was an awesome month. I got through quite a lot of books, which is good seeing as October 31st is my birthday and I'm going to be getting loads of books for that, hopefully. So let's just get straight on into it and I'll show you what I read in October. So I carried on with the Throne of Glass series and I read Crown of Midnight, The Assassin's Blade and Heir of Fire, all by Sarah J Maas. And I'm not going to go through really what Throne of Glass is about because you all probably know by now, but it basically follows Selena, an assassin, and she's hired by the king to do his dirty deeds. But it all goes to pot when it turns out she's, well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but yeah, if you like assassins, magic, witches, you would love it. Heir of Fire did turn it completely on its head because that's where the witches were introduced, and yeah, I just think it's going to go really, really well. But for the rest of the month I did take a little break from Throne of Glass. I'm hoping to carry on in November and maybe December. Then I read The Loneliest Girl in the Universe by Lauren James. So I've heard a lot about this book and I just really wanted it for the cover as well. It's so nice. But this basically follows a young girl called Romy, and she is the only person left on the spaceship that's going to inhabit a new Earth. There was a disaster that led to her being the only person left, but then Earth sends out another spaceship with a young guy on it and she's getting really excited about meeting him, falls in love with him. But then when they meet, a big twist happens and it just takes off from there. It had me hooked, it had me thinking what on earth happens, and I just did not expect what happened. But yeah, I totally recommend you give this a read. Then I read one of my most anticipated reads of the year, and this is The Creakers by Tom Fletcher. So if you don't know, Tom Fletcher is the author of The Christmasaurus that came out last year, and this is his second novel. I did do a review of this, so I will link this down below. But this basically follows a young girl called, I think it was, I can't remember her name. I'm thinking Lisa, but I don't think it's Lisa. Lucy, it's Lucy. Well, it's a young girl called Lucy who wakes up and realises all the adults in the world have disappeared. And it's basically up to her to find out where these adults have gone. Turns out there's these creakers that live under your bed who's trying to steal all this rubbish, and they've stolen the adults because the adults are the people who get rid of the rubbish, which is actually a pretty good thought. But it's really good, great for children, and it's also got such good illustrations like the Christmasaurus. It's by Shane DeVries, the illustrations, but they are so nice and lovely little things. I just love these books mainly for the illustrations because they are just so cool. But if you did like the Christmasaurus, you will definitely like this. Then I read An English Ghost Story by Kim Newman. So this has been on my TBR since November last year, and I finally read it because I was saving it for Halloween. And it was okay. Basically it follows this family who are kind of not getting along until they move into this house, and then they kind of find out this house is haunted. It's very, very slow, very, very long chapters. I didn't really like it, it didn't have me hooked, so yeah. Then I read The Whitby Witches by Robin Jarvis. When I picked this up I didn't realise it was a children's book, but that still didn't put me off. It was awesome. Basically this follows two children who basically get fostered. I think it's by a long lost aunt, or it might be like a relative of her aunt. And they get sent to Whitby where they realise this lady, she's not really a witch, but basically the young boy in this, he can see dead people. And the aunt they go live with, she's kind of the same, but she's lost that ability and she's trying to get it back. And that's until another person moves into Whitby and all these weird things start happening, and it's up to them to try and stop this before she unravels time and sends everyone back to the Stone Age. It is really, really good. It had me hooked. I love the characters and there's lots of humour in there as well. And if you're like me and you love Whitby and you've been there, it's great to see places that you already know and love. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this if you love your Whitby and if you love witches as well. Then I read One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. So this was recommended to me by my friend Michelle, and I read it on the way home from London. I basically read it in like 2 days. It was very good. Basically this follows 4 people who end up in detention by no means of their own. Basically they had mobile phones taken off them, but they weren't their mobile phones, so they were a bit confused. And then one guy in the detention class gets killed basically, and it follows them trying to work out who did it. It was really good. It had me guessing. I didn't work it out until like 3/4 of the way through, and in the end it was a bit disappointing, which is why I only gave it 4 out of 5 stars. But it was really good. It's a really good thriller. It had you on your toes. I loved the characters as well, and yeah, it was just great. Then I read Ink and Bone by Lisa Unger. So I got this Christmas last year and I'm so glad I finally read it. It was a lot better than I thought it'd be. Recently thrillers, they haven't really agreed with me sometimes. They just haven't hooked me, but this did have me hooked. This basically follows a young girl called Finley, I keep forgetting the names, and she moves to the Hollows to live with her grandma. And basically Finley and her grandma are both people who can see dead people. There's a lot of this in this wrap up. And her grandma helps this private detective to sort out different crimes. This book follows Finley as she takes on her first crime with the cop. Girls have been going missing. It's up to Finley to find out where this girl is and what's happened to all the previous girls. It was really good. It's great to see a kind of like psychic ghost thriller crime novel because I've never really seen those together, and there is so many twists and turns. Some things happen and I thought I did not expect that to happen. You know, it's starting to finish and this like turns on its head. It's like, oh my god. But yeah, I really liked it. I loved Finley as a character and you get to see different viewpoints, which is really good as well. I love books like that. I cried as well and it's funny as well. I just loved it, and I hope there are more books following Finley and her crimes because it's such a good way to do it. And then the final book I read was one that I got at Christmas last year again, and I've been saving it for autumn because it's a perfect autumn read, and that is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling and illustrated by Jim Kay. So like I said, I got this last year, but Harry Potter for me is always an autumn read. I love it for autumn because, you know, starting school, stuff like that. And I thought I'd read this because my parents are getting me the Azkaban version for my birthday, and Azkaban is perfect for winter, so I thought I'd read this and I can pick up Azkaban as soon as I get it. But yeah, Harry Potter, you know, Chamber of Secrets, they go to school, people start being petrified, and it's up to Harry, Ron and Hermione to work out how it happens like normal. There's just such beautiful illustrations. I just love these so much, and I love Jim Kay's take on it. So I just can't wait for Azkaban because that's my favourite Harry Potter book, so I'm just so happy. It's so good to be rereading them. I haven't reread them for years and I've forgotten how much more personality the books have, how funny the books are. There had bits where I was literally just chuckling to myself because of certain bits, especially because of this and Lockhart, it's just so funny, but I think the movies kind of did him better. But like with the main characters, there's so much more personality, and yeah, I'm just so happy this has made me reread them. Yeah, that's it for my October wrap up, so hopefully November will be as good as October because I've been doing pretty well. I've already reached my Goodreads goal, so I'm happy with that. But I have already filmed my November TBR, which will be up this week I think. November will probably be as good, but I have no idea what I'm going to read because obviously I'm getting books for my birthday. So yeah, what have you read in October? Have you read any spooky reads this month? If you want to, just comment down below and we can have a little chat, and I will see you later with a new video. Bye!